Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. We continue reading from the 40 principles of the religion. Al-Arba'in Suddin by Imam Al-Ghazali rahimahullah. And we have reached the third defect of the tongue. And it's the third ailment, if you will. It is disputing and arguing. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Whoever abandons disputing while he is right, a home is built for him in the highest part of paradise. Whoever abandons it while he is wrong, a home is built for him on the outskirts of paradise." Of course, the first one demands more effort, but the chain of narrators is weak. The same weakness applies to the next hadith. I continue reading from the text. This is because it is more difficult for the person who is right to abandon making his point. He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also said, "The slave does not perfect his faith until he leaves off disputing, even though he is right." We have already said that the chain of narrators is weak. The definition of disputing is to oppose another's speech by pointing out the mistakes in it, whether explicitly or implicitly. Okay, explicitly or implicitly might not be the accurate translation. And because in Arabic it says إما في اللفظ أو في المعنى. إما في اللفظ أو في المعنى. So you point to mistakes in the actual wording, the grammar, and the other one is the mistake in the meaning. So that will be a more direct translation, I would say. The reason disputation is motivated by excessive pride in displaying superiority. It is caused by either malign offhandedness or the wickedness of being confrontational that is found in one's nature and looks forward to belittling and overcoming another. Again, disputation is motivated by excessive pride in displaying superiority. It is caused by either malign offhandedness or the wickedness of being confrontational. There's something missing. The Sabu'iyya in Arabic is the character of the wild animals, such as lions, tigers, these big cats, if you will. So there is like that kind of wild monster inside. That's the motivation. So what does the Sab'a do, it preys on other animals. So here it is preying, like it's just like uh, this is something that one. I mean, I think the meaning is clear now. Disputing and arguing are a means of strengthening these two filthy and destructive characteristics. The necessary course of action is for a person to affirm whatever he hears that is right and be quiet about whatever he hears that is a mistake. Unless it were in regards to mentioning a beneficial religious point that would be listened to coming from him. In that case, he should remind the other with gentleness, not harshness. The fourth ailment is joking. Too much of it increases laughter, causes the heart to die, provokes malice, and does away with dignity and gravity. The Prophet ﷺ said, verily a man will speak with a word to make those sitting with him laugh and thereby drop further than the playlist. He ﷺ also said, "Oh, do not dispute with your brother, nor always joke with him." So there's a hadith that is uh, mentioned by Bukhari and Muslim. Has the same essentially the same meaning, but إن العبد لا يتكلم بالكلمة ما يتبين فيها يزل يزل بها إلى النار أبعد ما بين المشرق والمغرب. متفق عليه. So the servant, the slave, would utter the word that if he does not pay attention to it, he might slip to hellfire, a distance that is longer than that which is between the east and the west. And there's the hadith of the again it's weak, the attribute to the Prophet, but it's not do not do not dispute with your brother, nor always joke with him. Know that there is no harm in a little bit of something, a little bit of it sometimes, especially with women and children, in order to make them feel good. The Prophet ﷺ also had just a little bit of that. He ﷺ did that. However, he said, "I most certainly joke around, but I say nothing but the truth." And precisely regulating that is difficult for other than him. It has been narrated that he once raised Aisha radiallahu anha, and he once said to he raised Aisha twice, really. The first time she won, and the second time the Prophet ﷺ won because she uh, gained some weight. And he once said to an elderly woman, "Old women do not enter paradise." The chain of narrator uh, is weak, but it is known that people will be resurrected. Uh, all of them same young age. And the Prophet ﷺ in a hadith narrated by Bukhari and Muslim, he said, "Ya Aba Umair, ma fa'ala an-Nughayr." And the Nughayr in Arabic is the chick, really a bear chick, that the boy was playing with it. Oh, Abu Umair, what did the sparrow do? The sparrow was a chick that the little boy used to play with. He ﷺ said to Suhaib while he was eating some dates, "You eat dates while one of your eyes is sore." Suhaib said, "I only eat with my other half." And Allah's Messenger ﷺ laughed. There is no harm in the likes of this kind of joking on the condition that it is not taken as a habit. The fifth ailment is praising. As he has become as has become the habit of people and poets, whenever visiting decent people from the sons of this world, and as has become the habit of storytellers, for they praise any fool who attends their gatherings. There are six elements regarding to praising. Four of them are in the one who praises, and two of them in the one who is praised. As for the one who praises, the first element in him is that he goes to extremes and thus mentions about the person something that is not in him and is thereby a liar. Remember, Imam Al-Ghazali would say that if if you ask, "How are you?" If you ask your friend, if you, a relative, a colleague, and you don't care about him, then you have lied to him. Because when you say "How are you," you give the impression as if you do care. The second is that so just same thing. Yes, like when you invite people, the polite we think that it's a polite invitation, but we don't intend. It's a lie. It's a lie. Just watch out for any statement that you utter. The second is that he might show love towards someone that he does not really feel, and thus is hypocritical and two-faced. The third is that so there are those who are two-faced, those who are with one face, and those who lost a face, no face at all. We don't talk physically, no face, of course. The third is that he says that he does not really know, and thus is speculating, such as if he were to say, "Indeed, so and so is just and pious," or something else concerning what he does not really know. A man once praised another man in front of Allah's Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he said, "Woe to you! You have cut your companion's neck. If one of you must praise his brother, then let him say, 'I believe that so and so is like such and such, yet I praise no one over Allah. It's ولا زكي على الله أحدا.'" And this is narrated by Al-Bukhari and Muslim. So you should say, I praise no one over Allah. Allah will honor him if he really thought that the person was like that. The fourth is that he delights through it, the one who is praised, who perhaps is a wrongdoer, and thus is disobedient by putting joy in his heart. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uh, is angered when an open sinner is praised. The meaning is definitely correct, and probably one would put a question mark about the chain of narrators. Now Al-Hasan radiallahu anhu said, من دعا لظالم البقاء فقد أحب أن يعصى الله تعالى. Whoever prays for the longevity of an open sinner has light for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be disobeyed, because the sinner would, if he continues to sin with having a long life, that's basically not a good thing, to say the least. But it's not only any sinner. Zalim, unjust person, of course. A sin, you are unjust to yourself. But when we talk about zalim, we talk about someone who is unjust. And the unjust could be a simple person, could be a ruler, could be anyone. You act unjustly, the unjust. The openly sinful wrongdoer should be censored, so that his desire for wrongdoing and sin is abated. As for the one who is praised, one of the ailments in him is for pride or self admiration to occur within him, which are both destructive. For this reason, the Prophet ﷺ said, you have cut your companion's neck. We have commented on this before. The second is that he becomes happy with it, dwells on his deeds, and becomes pleased with himself. The Prophet ﷺ said, if a man were to threaten another man with a sharpened knife, it would be better for him than praising him to his face. Yeah. This particular we say tradition, but really it's not. Is basically mentioned without a chain of narrators at all, and it is known through the Adab al-Nufus of al-Muhasibi, and it's mentioned without any chain of narrators. If the praise is secure from these ailments in the one who praises and the one who is praised, then there is no harm in it, and it might even be recommended. The Prophet ﷺ said, if the faith of Abu Bakr was weighed with the faith of the world, his faith would outweigh it. And there is some talk about the chain of narrators. At least one possibility is that it was mentioned by Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. And the Prophet ﷺ said, if I were not sent as a prophet, you would have been sent, O Umar. And the hadith has been mentioned a bit differently by Tirmidhi. If there were a prophet after me, it would have been Umar ibn al-Khattab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ala wa alam bis-sawab. He praised many of his companions sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as he knew that doing so would increase their zeal and not cause self-admiration in them. It is the right course of action for the one who is praised to think deeply about the seriousness of his final works, the subtleties of ostentation, and his evil deeds, and to recollect the inner flows that he knows about himself, especially his thoughts and inner dialogue, that if only the one praising him knew, he would cease from praising him. Don't be fooled by what people say about you by their praise. If you know that you do sin between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He should show a dislike for praise and hate it in his heart. The Prophet ﷺ alluded to this with his statement, throw dust in the face of the one who flatters excessively. Excessively, I don't think it's there in the Arabic. It simply says احثوا في وجوه المداحين التراب. It could be because of the stress on the dal of maddah. Madih would be without stress, and we have, so it's a possibility. Yes. And it has been narrated by Muslim. It has been narrated by Muslim. Someone once said, when he was praised, O Allah, this slave of yours has sought to get close to me through your disdain, and with you as my witness, I disdain him. Ali bin Abi Talib, Karamallahu wajhah, wa radiyallahu anhu, said, when he was praised, O Allah, forgive me for what they do not know. Do not take me to task regarding what they say, and make me better than what they think. So this way we have completed the second principle, inshallah. We have covered, this for the second time certain parts And tomorrow, inshallah, we will deal with the third principle, and that would be number 23 in all. And it is about anger. Yes. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.